What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the first Wednesday pull list of 2025. Guys, I'm going to talk about all the amazing covers and the amazing comic books, in my opinion, coming out this week on New Comic Book Day, which is January 8th of 2025. There are some really nice covers, some really nice new number ones, and some amazing ongoing series that I think you guys have to be picking up because the stories are so stinking good. Now, if you guys are new to this video series, just so you guys know, I haven't read the issues coming out this week. I read the previous issues the day before New Comic Book Day, or the day before recording this video, so that way I'm all caught up on the current stories, so that way I can tell you the best ongoing stories, so I can make sure you guys are picking up those books. And there's two stories that I think are incredible, and you guys cannot miss out on those, and I'll cover the rest of the books on my pull list after that. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and cover all the amazing covers coming out this week with going over my cover lover picks. Now, one thing that I did not mention at the start of this video is that I do not cover every single comic book, and I'm not going to go over every single cover coming out this week on New Comic Book Day. I pick out my favorites and I share those to you guys. Now, if you do want to see all the amazing comic books and all the amazing covers that are coming out this week, I highly suggest you go over to leagueofcomicgeeks.com, go to their new comic section, and that way you can see all the covers coming out on January 8th, which is tomorrow of 2025. But let's go ahead and cover my favorite covers coming out this week. And the first one up is Absolute Batman issue number 4 with the cover E, which is a 1 in 50 ratio variant done by Jorge Fornes, and it's fantastic. It's absolute Batman, kind of pinned himself up between two buildings. He could be on Long Island because that's how close buildings are in Long Island. But yeah, he's got his cool axe. It's an awesome freaking cover. Now, next up is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 65 with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man variant in the 1 in 100 black and white virgin ratio variant done by Scotty Young. I've liked all of these covers that he's done for this series, and I'm going to continue picking them up and liking them because I'm just a huge Scotty Young fan. Now, next up is Transformers issue number 16 with the cover B variant done by Jorge Corona. It is fantastic. I don't know who this character is. It was teased on the last page of the previous issue, issue number 15. It's like a cool Constructicon. I don't know. It's really freaking cool. Bruticus, I want to say that's what it is. Next up is another cover for the same book, Transformers issue number 16. This is the cover E variant. It's a 1 in 50 ratio variant done by Omer. It features Megatron, and he's got Starbeak, or Laserbeak on his arm. It's just really freaking nice. Now, next up is Batman and Robin issue number 17. This is the cover B variant done by Simon DeMeo. It features Batman. It looks like he's opening up his chest and Robin's coming out of it, and you got some little Robin birds, actual birds coming out. Really stinking cool. The next up is All New Venom issue number 2 with the variant cover in the 1 in 100 virgin ratio variant done by David Parator. And it is freaking amazing. It is so freaking cool. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the really long Venom tongues, but it really works for this one. And I love the black and yellow. Instead of black and white, it's black and yellow. So good. So good. Now, next up, we're going to go over all the really cool Magik covers for the new Magik issue number 1 landing this week. Now, I'm personally not going to be collecting this to read, but I will be collecting all the amazing covers. Now, the first cover that I want to show you guys is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Jay Anceletto. It is fantastic. Really nice. Now, next up is the variant cover in the 1 in 100 virgin ratio variant done by Ji-Hung Lee. Again, absolutely fantastic. And in this version, we get a thicker, look at those thighs. Those are some really meaty thighs on Magik. And normally people draw her more tall and skinny, but it's really nice to see a thicker version of Magik. Now, next up is the variant cover in the 1 in 200 virgin ratio variant done by David Nakayama. Guys, this is probably one of my favorite David Nakayamas. If you include all the books from 2024 and up to right now, over the last year, this is probably my favorite David Nakayama cover. It is so good. Now, I do not have the cheddar to get that 1 in 200, but I did already pre-order the David Nakayama trade dress variant because it is so good. But my favorite cover for this series is the foil variant, and it's done by D.K. Ruan. It's so good. I'm just a gigantic fan of this guy's artwork, and I will continue being because I think he's just such a freaking great artist. There is one more cover. It is an exclusive. This is coming from Unknown Comics. There is a trade dress in a Virgin variant of this, and it's done by Alexander Lozano. If you guys are interested in this cover, I will have links down in the description so that you can click on it, go right to Unknown Comics, and pick this up for yourself. This is fantastic. This is probably my second favorite. I would go DK, this one by Alexander Lozano, and then go back to the David Nakayama covers for my top 3 Magik covers for issue number 1. And then next up is another cover for All New Venom issue number 2. This is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Stonehouse. This guy or lady, I'm not sure if it's a guy or a girl. I'm guessing it's a girl. I'm guessing it's a guy. Stonehouse, he's put out some banger covers over like the last like 2 or 3 weeks. So good. So good. Now next up is Daredevil Unleash Hell, the Red Band issue number 1, with the variant in the 1:100 Virgin ratio variant done by Joshua Sway. We got Elektra on the cover, and she looks freaking incredible. Now next up is New Champions issue number 1 with the variant cover in the 1:50 Virgin ratio variant done by Rose Besh. I think Rose Besh has gotten better over the last year or so. Her design style is getting cooler and just, I don't know, a little less chunky, I want to say. But overall, this cover is really stinking cool, and it's that new Ghost Rider character that's on like rollerblades. Pretty cool. Now next up is another cover for New Champions issue number 1. This is the variant cover in the 1:100 Virgin ratio variant done by Art Germ. This is really good Art Germ. Sometimes the Art Germ faces kind of look like dead, or like just like zombified. Not zombified like ugly, but just like they're just like staring off into space. But this one, the person looks like she's some character in her, some spirit in her. I don't know. It's really stinking cool. Now next up, I haven't had one of these on the cover liver list for a very long time. This is Red Sonja issue number 17. This is the cover E plus the cover G 1/10 Virgin cosplay variant. Obviously it's just a photo variant, and it features a cosplayer that it's actually, I could believe this person being Red Sonja, because they are pretty freaking jacked. And they got red hair, and they look fantastic. Not many cosplay variants, in my opinion, actually look a ton like the character that they portray, but this girl right here looks fantastic. Now next up is another cover for Red Sonja issue number 17. This is the cover F, which is a 1:10 ratio variant, but this is also the cover Q, which is the 1:15 Virgin ratio modern icon variant. Now these modern icon variants, just in case you did not know, they are reprinting artwork that previously came out, but they put this border around it and call it a modern icon variant. So if you want the original, you have to go back to the year that it was originally printed, but if you missed out on that and that book is like out of your price range, you can pick this up right here, and this is a great cover by Jenny Frison. Now next up is Grim Fairy Tales issue number 91 with the cover D variant done by Ivan Tao. Just a really cool Grim Fairy Tales character done by Ivan Tao, and it looks fantastic. 3 more covers? Yes, 3 more covers. Next up is Green Hornet and Miss Fury issue number 1. So this is the cover S, which is the trade dress. There is the cover U, which is the foil variant with trade dress. Next is the ZA negative variant. After that, there is the Z ultraviolet variant, and then there's the X variant, which is the 1/7 foil virgin variant. There is the cover Y, which is the virgin. There is the cover ZB, which is a 1/7 ultraviolet virgin, and there is the cover ZC, which is a 1/7 negative virgin variant. Now again, all these covers are done by Mark Spears, and I think it's really, really good. Now next up is another cover for Green Hornet and Miss Fury issue number 1. This is the cover B variant. There's also the cover T foil, the cover L 1/15 black and white ratio variant. There is the cover O 1/25 black and white virgin ratio variant. There is the cover R 1/50 virgin ratio variant, and the cover W, which is a 1/7 virgin foil variant. There is a chance I missed a cover version of this when I was going through all the different covers. But guys, this cover is done by Jay Lee, and it is fantastic. Now the final cover that I want to share with you guys is also coming from Dynamite Comics, and there aren't as many versions, but this is Altered States Purgatory Grindhouse issue number 1 with the cover B variant and the cover J 1/20 virgin ratio variant done by Lucio Perillo. So good. that is it. A lot of different covers, really good stuff coming out this week, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what cover is your favorite. But guys, it's time to move over to the next section, which are the books that are on my pull list. So let's go ahead and check those out now. All right, guys, as you guys can see, this week for me is not too bad. There's only 17 total books on my pull list, but these are blurry. These are small. You guys can't see what those books are, so let me go ahead and throw them up on screen right now. Guys, like I said, there's a total of 17 books on my pull list. There are 2 new number ones, and if we break down this list a little bit more, there are 5 DC books, 4 Marvel books, and 8 indie titles. Now, I did read the previous issue to every single book that you see up on screen right now, so every single book has an opportunity to be on the top 2 list this week, but only 2 made the list. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which we're going to cover the new number ones that I think you guys have to be excited about. Real quick, guys, before we check out those new number ones, I gotta ask you, if you guys are enjoying this content right now, please smash that like button. It helps the channel and this video out so much. All right, guys, let's go ahead and check out those new number ones. All right, guys, the first new number one that we got to talk about is Aquaman issue number 1. Hold on, guys. I know some of you guys are like, you're seriously going to be picking up Aquaman? Yes. In the past, I've been burned by new Aquaman series because this character is hard to write. It really is. But we got a good creative team on this book. And the writer of this book is Jeremy Adams. Now, if you're reading the new Green Lantern series, you know that series is absolutely freaking awesome. It's so good. And this book right here, Aquaman issue number 1, is going to have the artist of John Timms. I'm a big John Timms fan. I started liking his artwork when he was doing Young Justice, and I've liked everything he's done since then. So I'm really excited that he's on this book with Jeremy Adams. So we're going to get hopefully a really cool story, but also some great artwork to go along with it. But let's go ahead and read the synopsis for this book. New powers, new mission, the king is back, baby! In the wake of absolute power, Arthur Curry's powers have evolved to powerful new heights, and this is one king ready to use them to kick some serious butt. That's a little cheesy, but I'm really excited about new powers for Aquaman. Mammoth water constructs, kaijus, have emerged from each of the 7 seas, and only Aquaman's water warping abilities can stop them, but not if they kill the good king in the process. Enter Dragon, Arthur's guide on the quest to unlock the secrets of the blue. But what deadly secrets await Arthur on his journey? It's an all-new era for Aquaman by acclaimed creators Jeremy Adams and John Timms that will leave you cheering. I don't know if I should be as excited as I am, but after really enjoying Jeremy's run on Green Lantern, it's really got me pumped for this new Aquaman series. Now, the other new number 1 that we gotta talk about is Lucky Devils issue number 1. Now, this is coming from the writer of Charles Soule, which is the main reason that I'm really excited for this book, and has art by Ryan Brown. Now, let's go ahead and read the synopsis for this. Good Omens meets Curse Words in this new series from the duo behind smash hit 8 Billion Genies. The Lucky Devils is a tale of 2 rebellious demons who decide to start a revolution in hell, and the 2 ordinary 20-something humans that they're going to manipulate to do it. A cheeky, satirical look at good and evil. The Lucky Devils explores Faustian bargains and temptation in a rip-roaring, hilarious new way. That sounds really freaking cool. I did miss out on 8 Billion Genies. I probably should pick it up in trade and read it, but I don't have time to read books in trade. I do have a trade over there on the bed that I picked up. It's I Heart Skull Crushers, Denny in the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord just yet, I promised him I would read it. So I picked it up, and I'm gonna read it at some point. But picking up another trade just is out of the picture. But this, a new ongoing series from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, I am all in. And I like the idea of 2 demons starting a revolution in hell. I think that could be really fun. And the idea that this is going to be a rip-roaring, hilarious book has got me really excited. All right, guys, those are the new number 1s. Let's go ahead and cover the 2 books that I think you guys have to be picking up this week because the stories are the best coming out this week. All right, guys, the book that's in the number 2 spot is really good. The 4th issue comes out this week, and the first 3 issues have been incredible. Super engaging, and it's a twist on my favorite character. Guys, I'm talking about Absolute Batman. Issue number 4 comes out this week, coming from the amazing creative team of Scott Snyder. But this does not have art by Nick Dragotta. No, we have an artist kind of filling in for him. It's Gabriel Hernandez Walta. But there's a reason why Gabriel is on this book, and that is because this book is an origin issue. So it's going to take place all in the past, not in the current future, which is really cool. So we're going to have a fill-in artist of Gabriel Hernandez Walta, and this is the origin issue of how Bruce Wayne became the absolute Batman. And I think that is so freaking cool. But the story that Scott Snyder is telling in the twists that he's done to Batman in this universe is so engaging. My favorite part of issue number 3 was flashbacks, going to Bruce's past and seeing him interact with Selina Kyle. It was so great. So great getting that little bit of information of how this universe is different but also kind of the same. But then there's a point where you see Bruce with Selina and all of his friends, and his friends are all the villains from the main continuity, but they're all not villains in this universe. They're his friends. So just like heartwarming and awesome, and it's just such a cool twist. I'm loving it so much. And then the other part of issue number 3 was in the current time, and Bruce dealing with Alfred, who's a badass spy. It was so good. But you see this crazy bat dump truck transform into like a car. It was so cool. This book is just amazing. I'm probably a little biased because I'm such a huge Batman fan and Scott Snyder fan, but really, guys, if you have not enjoyed the current Batman series, the ongoing right now at DC Comics, go over and check out Absolute Batman. It's worth every single dollar that I spent on this series, and I spent a lot because I bought a lot of variant covers. But guys, Absolute Batman issue number 4 is in the number 2 spot. It's not the number 1 book that I think you guys will be reading this week. So let's go ahead and find out what the number 1 book that I think you guys have to be picking up this week, because the story is incredible. The number 1 book that I think you guys have to be picking up this week is an Elseworld tale. Batman, or Absolute Batman, is kind of an Elseworld tale, but it is going to tie into current continuity at some point. But this book will never tie into current continuity. It's a true Elseworld tale, and that is DC vs. Vampires World War V. Issue number 6 comes out this week, coming from the writer of Matthew Rosenberg and art by Otto Schmidt. This series is the second arc of DC vs. Vampires. The first arc was a 12-issue maxi series written by James Tynion IV and Matthew Rosenberg. They teamed up to write that series. Matthew Rosenberg has written this first 6-issue mini after it, and it's so good. Issue number 5, which I read yesterday, blew my mind. Blew my mind. The setup to get to where they're going is, if you look at the cover for issue number 6, you see Mr. Miracle, and he's holding up what looks like a little satchel, a little sack, and that is a baby. And it's the baby of him and Big Barda. And this baby is not a vampire, but Big Barda is, and when Mr. Miracle had relations with Big Barda to create this baby, he was also a vampire, but somehow he's not a vampire anymore. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. But it's so good. It is so stinking good. Or maybe he never was a vampire. I can't remember. It does not matter. But this baby is not, and it's supposed to be the miracle baby that's going to turn the tide of either for the humans or for the vampires, and everyone's going for it, especially the vampires. But Mr. Miracle is doing his best to keep the baby away, and there's a scene between Big Barda. He's been like running away from her, and he finds, or she finds him. So great. But some other villains find them, and there's a great scene. So good. But there's also another twist where you learn in issue number 4 that the first big bad from the first series is back. So good. Never died. And it's back. And then there's a battle at the castle where she's at, and with the humans coming to free what they thought was a bunch of humans that were used for like a blood bank, but it's for the vampires. But it's not. It's another hero that has been missing, and I don't want to ruin it for you. The the moment when I turned that page and saw what happened, man, oh man, this series is so good. It pulls at your heartstrings right at the right moments, and it gets you excited. The action scenes, they kill people that you don't think they're gonna kill. They turn heroes and villains that you don't want to be vampires into vampires, and now they're bad on them. There's just so many good points in this book. So good. And the artwork by Otto Schmidt is out of this world good. And the exciting thing is that this is a 6-issue mini. But there is another series coming after this, and there's no like delay. I think they created another 12-issue, but they're titling it 2 different things. This is World War V, where there was a slight peace between the humans and vampires, but that's going to explode into the next series, and it's going to be an all-out war. It's going to be really good. Really good, guys. So that is the #1 book that I think you guys have to be picking up this week. Truly, guys, the story is so good. Go read the first trade. Go pick that up. Read that 12-issue maxi series and then dive into this series. Or maybe wait till this comes out in trade as well and then just read both back to back. That would be so good. And then you can pick up the new one issue by issue and enjoy the amazing covers, because there's been some really good covers for both series. But that's enough rambling. Let's go ahead and cover the not top 3, but the books you gotta see, which are the rest of the books on my pull list. All right, guys, I will try to make this quick and painless because I'm sure this video is already a little long, but I break up the rest of my pull list into 3 specific sections. The okay, which are books that were just okay, and I really can't recommend those books to you guys. And then there's the good. These are solid comic books that I do enjoy, and I think you should consider picking these books up because they are good comic books. And the last are the great. These are bangers that almost made the top 3 list, but they didn't have that little extra juice to get them there. So let's go ahead and cover the okay books. Now, again, I did read the previous issue, so I don't know if the current issue that I'm going to say is good or bad, but I'm just not excited for these ones. This is Wolverine issue #5. Issue #4 was just, I don't know. The artwork wasn't very good, and the story just really is not that engaging. After that, you got Kill All Immortals issue #5. This book is very formulaic. I thought it was going to be really, really good because after issue #1, I really enjoyed it, but then it just fell into a formula that it's just, you can see the next thing happening before it happens. And after that is All New Venom issue #2. Issue #1 really wasn't the excitement was there to find out who the new Venom was, but the story that was told was kind of lame. It was really boring, and again, formulaic. You kind of saw what they were doing as they were doing it, and there was no cool twist yet. I am going to pick up the first arc, however long that is, either 4, 5, or 6 issues, and then I will decide if I'm going to cut it or not. The artwork is really good, and I'm just hoping the story gets better. All right, guys, the good books. Batman and Robin, issue #17, solid book written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. I am really enjoying the series, especially because Robin is questioning the training that he's receiving from Batman and kind of pushing back. And there was a moment of tragedy that happened that really hit Damian in a way that's like, you know, different than normal. It's really cool how they're handling that. After that, Batman Dark Patterns issue #2. Issue #1 that I read yesterday was decent. It's a decent Batman series. Not great, not terrible, just decent. After that, Kaya, issue #24. This series has been good since issue #1. Some of the issues have been great. Some of them have been good. This book has never made the okay. This book is always freaking amazing. I really highly suggest you guys consider picking this book up. Next up, Namor, issue #6. This book has gone from okay to good to okay to good. I'm probably going to put this solidly on the good moving forward. They're at a point right now, Jason Aaron and the 2 artists that are working on this book, that this book is just going in an interesting way, and I'm really excited to see where they're going to go with it. I just wish it was better. I wish they had better artists on this book, and the story might flow a little better, but overall, I'm excited to see where this is going to go for Namor, and hopefully he can be in like more of the main titles at Marvel Comics, because he's a really cool character. After that, Nemesis Rogues Gallery issue #5, a Mark Millar book. And again, I want this book to be freaking incredible because I like the character of Nemesis a lot. And there was a delay in this book, so a few months went by before we got another issue, and and really is okay. I don't like the artist on this book, like, at all, and that's really affecting, I think, the overall story for me. But overall, this story is still good. It's just not great. Last book on the good list is Napalm Lullaby, issue number 8. This is a Rick Remender book, and it's a solid read. They're going somewhere different with it now. Something crazy happened in issue number 6. Issue number 7 dealt with it, and it was a really cool way of how they dealt with it, and I'm excited to see where the rest of the series is going to go. I don't want to tell you too much more. I don't want to do a full synopsis of this book, but the art by Bengal is incredible. All right, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4 more books, and these are all great. Geiger, issue number 10. Gary Frank is back as the artist. The fill-in artist for him over the last story arc was really rough. Really rough. When you go from Gary Frank to someone else, it's a tough pill to swallow unless they're also big name artists, and they were not. But the story is still so good. In issue number 9, there was a moment where Geiger almost killed his sidekick, and that was a really heartfelt, warming moment that really is going to impact, I think, some of the series going on, and it was just really stinking cool, and the stakes are getting higher and higher, and we're getting some other characters that have been teased. We had Redcoat in this issue, and the guy that's on the cover, I'm blanking on his name, the metal robot that had his own series, Junkyard Joe, I want to say his name is. I think I got that right. He's such a cool character, and I love that he's had his own series that was in current times, but now we're jumping forward in the future with Geiger. It's going to be such a cool addition. Next up, Prodigy, Slave of Mars, issue number 5, again comes out this week. Mark Miller. Awesome series. I didn't love the first 2 story arcs of this series, but this one right here features the main character who's like a super smart guy, but then you find out his dad is even smarter, and then he has a brother that's been disappeared for a long time. You find out why in issue number 4, which is really great, but them two together, 2 brothers, have made this series even better, and it's really stinking cool. After that, Transformers issue number 16. This book waffles between good, the okay, and the great. I wish it was just stay in the great. I really do. But Transformers issue number 15 was awesome. Easy to read, easy to follow, and what they're building, you can feel all the emotions and how heavy everything is getting, and I really enjoyed it. And the art by Jorge Corona was stinking awesome. The final book, Uncanny X-Men issue number 8. I love this series, and David Marquez was back as the artist, which is so good. And the series is just really solid. I love the new characters. I love the fact that Rogue, Gambit, and Wolverine are our main X-Men, also Jubilee. They make a really cool team, and they're taking care of this new group of mutants, and the new group of mutants are really you're engaged in them as characters because Gail Simone has written them so well. There are some really cheesy one-liners, and overall I don't like the fact that they didn't do a good job of describing why Cyclops is there and Rogue is there, but they're not agreeing, and they're fighting each other to free the mutants that are in this prison, which used to be the X-Mansion. It's kind of confusing. They didn't do a good job of explaining that. But the art was great. The overall story is incredible through this first 7 issues, and I'm excited for issue number 8. All right, guys, that is my pull list. That is everything for today's video. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, we have made it to the end of today's video talking about all the amazing comic books coming out on January 8th of 2025. Some really great books, and I really do highly suggest that you guys pick up Absolute Batman and DC vs. Vampires World War V issue number 6. But you gotta read the previous issues to really enjoy those. But guys, we are at the end of today's video, and if you guys watched from the beginning of this video all the way to this point in the video right now, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for supporting the video. Now, if you guys could do one more thing to really support the video, and that is smash that like button. The more likes we got on this video, the more opportunities this video is going to get pushed out to more people, and more people can see this content and get excited about comic books, and we can help grow the comic book industry a little bit. Just support those artists and writers that we know and love. Last but not least, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed comic book content and you guys are not subscribed, I just gotta say, what are you guys doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notification, and yeah, I keep on doing this, smash that like button. All right, that is going to be it for today's video. I'll be back on Thursday or Friday with my final order of caught up video. No comics and beer this week, guys. Stephanie is very sick. She's been sick for the last week, and it's gonna, the doctor said, another 7 days of her to truly fully recover. So we might be back in 2 weeks. So not this week, not next week, maybe the following week. After that, we'll have a new episode of Comics and Beer, which is an amazing 1 hour live stream that Stephanie and I do. It's gonna be, and we talk about all things comic books. So no comics and beer this week, and that's gonna do it for today's video. So have yourself a great new comic book day, and I'll catch you guys on later in the week. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.